Welcome back to the PacWest Network for the final regular season game of 2026 here at Dan Martin Stadium. J.J. Johnson alongside Eric Bentley. Just witnessed a masterful comeback by the Sunbirds there with a 7-run bottom of the 8th to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat as they won 13-11 to ever increase their chances of making the PacWest tournament. We'll get to that in just a second, but it's going to be the last time that the Sunbirds take Dan Martin Stadium as members of the PacWest.
To get done.
Evan Avizia, the leadoff man for Vanguard, getting the senior treatment. Will ground out to Henderson at short for the first out on just 2 pitches as Cabral is the man in the circle. Let's get to the personnel in just a second, but let's go and dive deeper into that PacWest race right now. Obviously, EB called it great with the knowledge that we had at the end of Game 1 today. It happens. All of a sudden, as Gallegos will fly this one over in front of Johnson. It gets through the wickets, and it will get all the way to the wall. Gallegos will be standing up at 2 with ease. He's thinking 3, and they are going to say 3. He's going to fire over as Henderson, and it's not in time. Gallegos will get the single, and then it'll be right through the wickets, advance 2 bags. First miscue we've seen from the outfield for Fresno Pacific this entire series. 1 through 4 will remain the same for the Fresno Pacific Sunbirds. Dilworth will lead off, followed by Wilson, Henderson, and Wheelock. Martinez slides in at the 5 spot. Clement in the 6. 7 through 9 is going to be the catcher Lopez, followed by Johnson, who made that miscue and left. Didn't cost him anything, though. And he'll be followed up by the 9 spot defensively, Robinson for the Sunbirds. Dilworth stepping up. Face off against the righty from Azusa, Chris Ceballos, who will get his final start of his career for Vanguard. Dash Lopez, the catcher, could not snatch back into the zone. Dilworth has been nails this entire series, really.
Yeah, I mean, really all season long.
Dilworth still has 3-1. Squares the bunt. It's a beauty, too. Not going to be a play to be made. Ceballos eats it. What a job by Dilworth there to lay it down. I mean, laid that one to bed. Pigs in a blanket style. Man, Wilson comes up, but not before Dilworth will get the doctor's treatment. Man who's 13 for 18 swiping bags this season.
And to touch on the grass a little bit, as the facilities guy, it is Bermuda grass, so it grows very quickly, and especially when it gets hot, it'll grow quicker. So you could mow this quite often, and it'll still get up there, but it plays really nice. The players seem to like it.
The decision to go with the the Bermuda insteed of the Kentucky Chubb grass.
Yeah, I think some of the fields we used to have a Bermuda and a rye mix.
Okay.
I find
Folks,
out
this
what's
is
going
top
on.
tier. Talking about the types of grass out here. I mean,
the conversations you get into as a facilities guy.
I'll still always be appreciative of the conversation that we had last year during the PacWest tournament about the robot, which I forget what we named it on the PacWest social media page when we put the poll out there. I know Ben from Concordia had his opinions.
Everybody who's seen me with that robot asks if I have a name, and my response is I only have names when it's not working well.
Checked foul here, 1-1. Ceballos gets the K. Retires the second man he faces as Chris Ceballos picks up strikeout number 20 for himself on the season. Pretty dead even in that K to walk ratio for Ceballos, as the command has been an issue throughout the year, but when he's looked good, I mean, he almost had an immaculate inning a few outings ago. So he has flashes certainly, but probably not his best year. Last year probably would hold that honor for himself. Even still, though, still a quality arm for him. Get another start. His 6th of the season. Runners in motion. Ball 3. Tag is applied, and he is out. Dash Lopez hosing out a runner. Close call, as Rodriguez has not been Fresno's favorite. Ceballos in danger of putting that duck right back on the pond. It will not be here as we load full on the 3-2.
Looks like maybe
oh no,
there's a bit of an issue with the pitcher, Chris Ceballos.
This is not what you want to see.
Kind of shaking out that throwing arm and holding
oh my goodness
at that
me.
elbow.
And
trainers.
If you know Chris Ceballos, you know that he does not show much emotion. So to see his face right now visibly upset, goodness me, this is not what you want to see for a man who's about to end his career. One of the most jovial human beings on the staff, definitely life of the party. Welcome back, PacWest Network. Chris Ceballos exits for the last time as a Lion with an elbow injury, and man, you hate to see that. The last time, this is a man who has called Vanguard home for 2 years after coming over to the good side of the rivalry from Westmont. 3rd collegiate stop, and for it to end like that, You hate to see it. Rivera, by the way, inherits the 3-2 count in the new man on the hill, and it will be a walk, but, man, he'd be a tough one for Vanguard. It's just been that kind of year.
Yeah. And
for the first man he sees, Rivera, the 1-1 record, making his 11th appearance all in relief, although you could probably consider this one an honorary start for him, as he's going to have to eat up a lot of innings. He is the last available pitcher for Vanguard that has not been utilized. It's going to be a lot of recycling now, as Shamir Marshall, a man who started game 1 yesterday, he's been stretching as well. Dylan Scott shed the clipboard. He's going to start stretching, and Coy Anderson, of course, the sidewinder, it will be available as well. Tyler Prostyko, another man. So 4 names that are available. Shamir, you're hoping that he is not going to be the first man, as he had to eat up a lot of pitches yesterday as well. But Titus Wheelock, after fouling that one off, he's behind 0-1. And who comes into today second all-time in stolen bags. Helene will range over, loses the hats. He's got it with heels on the lawn. So Rivera does put a 0 up on the board. Well, the unfortunate part is Chris Ceballos goes down due to injury. We're scoreless through 1 here on the Pac West Network. Well, if you want to clinch a Pac West tournament berth, this might be the guy to do it. Cruz Cabral, the man coming off that 6-inning 10K performance against Concordia, only had to use 5 pitches in that first inning after being helped by Martinez's double up, getting Gallegos off of third base, as his 6th pitch goes right to the mark for a ball.
yeah, you mentioned that outing against Concordia.
The 10Ks that he had, not even his season high. Picked up 12 against Menlo, 5 1/3. A really good month of April for Cruz Cabral, the man from Fresno, playing for his hometown. 2-1. Try to dot the knees. He does. Got a full count here. Cabral looking for another K for himself. Check swing. Should have swung on it, as it just catches the zone,
Yeah,
according to Grant Myers.
yeah, I mean, TrackMan probably's got that one just a little bit outside. Everything's good now. We're all fine.
90 miles per hour. Comes in downstairs 1-1. Working against Colton Perez, serving as the first baseman for Vanguard today. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Cabral looking for his 2nd K. Won't have it here. It's slicing down the left field line, and it will drop. And 1 hop for ground rule once again, as we've had plenty of those this series on the short porch. Perfect pitch, 88 miles per hour. He's been dotting the knees quite well.
Yeah, and
Runner in scoring position for Dash Lopez. It's wild, but Alex Lopez handles it well. Let's meet the rest of this Fresno defense. Wheelock, Clement, Henderson, Martinez make up right to left on the infield. Left to right on the outfield is Johnson, Dilworth, and Robinson.
yeah, and what a luxury it is for a pitcher.
There's some quality contenders. Lopez could not hold up, and it is the 2nd strikeout for Cabral after all. Cabral comes in with that 5.30 ERA. Those 6 wins, tied for the most after Tinsley got his 6th yesterday. 37 1/3 of work for Cabral. Outside to James Durflinger. Durf sees one come in on the beautiful 12-6, 74 miles per hour. Cabral after the get me over. Sees this one fouled off. The hands. We're at 2-2. It's about year 21 for Coach Hirschkorn. Durf bloops this one up, and it will barely leave the infield. It'll be Clement to make the catch, as Coach Hirschkorn's crew is able to get through the first 2 innings scoreless. They go to the bottom half of the 2nd, looking to strike. On the even 1-1, it's pulled through the left side for Clement. He's got his first knock of game 2.
We're here in this situation with 2 on, nobody out.
Especially as you're approaching the bottom part of your order. Get it back to the man Dilworth who you just talked about. Lays off just in time. They will check, and they say no, despite Vanguard.
I mean, that was close, JJ. From
Time is called. James Durflinger, the shortstop, wants to have a conversation. Infield captain.
I was just about to say that, JJ. It's so funny that you ask, because the number of times that we've seen Durflinger come out and just have a one-on-one conversation with whoever's been out there on the mound really just goes to show the leadership, style of play of some of these guys, especially, shortstop. You're kind of the captain of the infield as it is. Yeah. But to see that leadership role expand into being able to talk to your other players, calm them down, work through situationally, it shows a lot of maturity for these players at the collegiate level. Hasn't
always been the shortstop for Vanguard. You think about last year, Jared Mazzaferro, a man also coincidentally from Washington, played his collegiate ball at UW before coming to Vanguard, and then the year before that it was our first baseman, Antonio Omfroy. So It's just been whoever Coach Peg tabs with it. Doesn't always have to be the man at the 6th spot.
Seen the Sunbirds work into a lot of full counts throughout this 4-game series. This is the 3rd time in this game.
Sliced off out of play. Abitavitia thought about giving chase, but thinks better of it. Vanguard defense, I don't even think we had a chance to really talk about them after the Chris Ceballos moment in the first inning. Let's go and meet the defense. It's Dash Lopez catching. Colton Perez, the man who usually is the DH, he's going to get another crack at first base. Cody White at second. Derflinger, as you saw, at short. As it gets past the aforementioned Colton Perez on a rocket, it's buried deep at 325. It's going to be the first run across the board. They're going to give a green light to the second man as well. The relay home is not in time, and he gets all the way over to 3, the 2 RBI. Fresno's on the board, and Clement is injured. He's going to need a second. Can barely put any weight on it. You hope he's okay. Goodness me, this is not how you wanted the last game of the 2026 regular season to go for either side, especially because you already talked about replacing TJ Schmidt. They've been getting creative, having Clement go from left to second base, and now all of a sudden you're going to be down to probably Esquivel, who we saw earlier in the series, come in to play second base perhaps. Infield comes on in with the nobody out and the runner on third. Pitch misses up and away. The 3-0 from Riv. Johnson thought it was ball 4.
Well, I mean, earlier in the at-bat, or earlier in this inning, we did see a pitch in that bottom part of the strike zone that was a full ball in the zone that was not called a strike. This one just barely clips the bottom. Johnson has to dig back in.
Goodbye, Johnson. I'm sure he would much rather take that one than a walk. Crank to left. 389 feet. It's a 4-0 ball game. The Fresno Pacific Sunbirds can feel the moment.
His 3rd home run of the year for the Sunbirds.
He does, in fact, prove that home runs are not reserved for just Titus Wheelock, as it is the first time that the bottom part of the order has produced this many hits. They've already got 3 hits due 5 through 9. It's a full count for Dilworth. Walks, as you mentioned, EB, have been abundant in this series for this Vanguard pitching staff. Trying to not do it here. 3-2 pulled, and it's going to be just foul. They're going to say it did not hit Avitia's glove. Otherwise, you're looking at an RBI for Dilworth.
Dilworth to swing and miss, or if Darrell's going to be able to lock in here.
Still just a freshman, so not sure if he is that confident in his other stuff just yet. But it would be a good time to try here in a game that really doesn't mean anything, as, again, he's got a case of the Vanguard just pull happy right now.
Very busy there down the left field side.
Here's how many foul balls that have been pulled over there. Vanguard has had to switch their runner. It was Seth Wrightstone, the pitcher who threw yesterday in Game 2. They've switched to Brian Paymard, who was the DH in Game 1 today.
See, this is how I know you're a comms guy, because you can tell who's who from up in the press box.
Well, Paymard, there's reasons why you can tell who it is. He's going to have to run back. You see the look on his face, and they just switched to him again.
He sent somebody else.
In out there, and Coach Peg has seen enough. He's going to go to the pen. So, Daniel Rivera is on the hook for the 2 men that are on base. It is 5-0. All 5 of those runs coming here in the bottom of the second. Pitch exchange on the Pac West Network. Back here on the Pac West Network, it'll be Coy Anderson to step up and toe the rubber for the blue and gold. Misses inside as we saw him pitch yesterday. Go 1 1/3, 1 hit. Scoreless did he. As he, again, if you weren't with us yesterday, a tremendous work of art is his motion. He slows it down to 67. Again, you see the chuckles there from the Fresno Pacific dugout. One that breaks late. Remember, he inherited the 2-0, so this is the payoff pitch on the 3-2, and it's fired over into right field. Gallegos will fire in, and it's not going to be in time. It is 6-0. The Sunbirds have had all the answers for whatever Vanguard has thrown at them. 2 runners in scoring position for Wheelock, who's had a heck of a series thus far. And he does get another RBI to his name. I mean, you saw what he did yesterday. He had literally a record-breaking performance for the Sunbirds as Vanguard finally gets their first, make it 2 outs of this inning after 8 runs in the here and now. Shift is on for the Vanguard defense. It's Cody White, the second baseman, is playing up the middle, the left side of the bag. Called strike for Coy Anderson. You know, the good news about a large lead like this is if it's close, probably not going to hear it from the fans. Well, he beats the shift. Esquivel just keeps the hits coming.